Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to our series of Know the Sahaba. Our Sahabi today is Abu Sufyan. When you think of him, you always think of him on the opposing side, in fact the leader of them. His full name is Sakhr ibn Harb ibn Umayyah ibn Abd Shams, famously known as Abu Sufyan, and he is from the tribe of Banu Abd Shams. Of his wives is the famous Hind bint Utbah, and of his daughters is Habiba, one of the mothers of believers, and his famous son is Muawiyah. Abu Sufyan was the one in charge of the caravans of the Quraysh and also the one who took care of the businessmen when they came to Mecca. And when Islam began, he didn't take vile course like Abu Jahl, Utbah, Abu Lahab and others. He's more diplomatic, and he continued with his trade routes. In the second year of Hijrah, when Abu Sufyan was returning from Sham, the Muslims tried to intercept the caravan, but Abu Sufyan managed to change course of the caravan and they didn't meet. But this eventually led to the Battle of Badr. After Badr, all of the seniors of the Quraysh had been killed. Hence, Abu Sufyan became the undisputed leader of the Quraysh. And the following year, he led the Quraysh to Uhud, and Khalid led the defeat. Next, he mobilizes all of the Quraysh and their allies to form the largest army in the history of Quraysh up until that time, and they laid siege to Medina, that's in the Battle of Ahzab, that's the Battle of Kandak or the Battle of Trench. And after the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, Abu Sufyan went to his trade business, and one day in Jerusalem, Heraclius, the Roman king in Jerusalem, summoned Abu Sufyan to his palace and asked him some questions regarding the Prophet, and he answered them all positively. It's a long hadith but very interesting conversation. And later Abu Sufyan said, the way of Muhammad has got even the king of Rome to be talking about him. And he continued saying, I know from that day that he's going to attain victory. And this is the first time Islam got into the heart of Abu Sufyan. When the Quraysh broke the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, Abu Sufyan came to Medina begging for mercy. He went to all of the four Khulafa, Abu Bakr, Umar, Usman, Ali, all of them, and he went to his daughter, Habiba, and even the daughter of the Prophet ﷺ, but nobody wants to intercede. The breaking of the treaty led to the conquest of Mecca. Right when the Muslims were in the outskirts of Mecca, Abu Sufyan met Al-Abbas, the uncle of the Prophet ﷺ, and he tried to convince him to accept Islam. Now it's all over. But Abu Sufyan didn't. And then Al-Abbas took Abu Sufyan to the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet asked Abu Sufyan, isn't it time for you to realize that there is no God but Allah? And Abu Sufyan praised the Prophet and he says, yes, it's making sense to me now. They had some few conversations and he said the kalima resentfully. And then the Prophet gave him the recognition when entering Makkah that anyone who enters the house of Abu Sufyan is safe. Immediately after the conquest, the Battle of Hunain took place, and Abu Sufyan was of those who never fled the battlefield, and the Prophet gave him a lot from the war booties. Abu Sufyan later became a firm believer, and he participated in almost all the battles later on. And in the siege of Taif, that's when he lost one of his eyes, and he was later appointed by Abu Bakr as the leader of Najran. And Abu Sufyan was of those who fought against the Murtaddin, thus in the battles of Ridda. He later continued to be part of the Muslim army, mostly as a commander or as a foot soldier. And in Sham, in the Battle of Yarmouk, he lost his other eye also. Thus, he lost both of his eyes in battlefields, and he later on came back to Medina. Abu Sufyan passed away in Medina during the reign of Usman radiallahu anhu, close to 100 years old. And Usman radiallahu anhu prayed over him, and he was buried in Baqi. May Allah have mercy upon him and give us with sincerity to his deen. Amin ya hayyu ya qayyum. Wassalamu alaikum.